How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Single Player Minecraft. Now, today, we started this episode, and I decided it would be a very good idea for me to listen back to it, because you know what we've been going through with all these audio issues. I haven't touched it since the last time, and I was like, let me just listen. And turns out we needed to redo this, so luckily I didn't get too far. Now, what we're going to do quickly, let's quickly sleep, which will be easy enough to be done. And then I'll show you what I've done in between last episode and this episode, and the little bit of stuff that we've done, technically on this episode, but not really, because you guys aren't going to see it, because stuff happens. Come on. Sleep. There you go. Good. Now, let's jump up here, have a look out here, and look at that. Isn't that looking quite beautiful? In fact, kind of feel like from there, it looks beautiful. As soon as you start getting to this very lime green carrot thing, it just doesn't work. I understand, like, it's Minecrafty, and that's why I want it there, because the carrots are there because they're crops, and we want a farm, and that's pretty important for a farm. However, I just feel like it would be really great if these were a bit more of a natural color than what they are right there. But yeah, that's beyond the beyond my control. I'm not going to make a texture pack for that. They'll be outside of my capabilities, and probably also outside of what I want for Minecraft. I don't want to play with too many textures. I'm happy with the sky texture. It makes everything look happier. But as far as changing blocks and stuff, I'm not too excited about that. Although you guys do comment quite a bit that I should be doing it. But what I want to do is I want to have a look over here and show you. I don't know if you guys can notice. Does something look a little bit different? Like something on these buildings that you might have... Actually, I've just spotted a problem, but I'll tell you about that in a few seconds. But does something look different to the last episode on these buildings? Well, I'll tell you exactly what it is. We've added this extra window in, and that has made a world of a difference. And it, in fact, lines up so perfectly, coincidentally, of course, with this one over here. Look at that. So it works out just right inside here that it won't get in the way of anything there. So I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. Now, some other stuff, well, actually, let me show you what I've just noticed. Let me step back here again. Look at that. Can you see those stairs? Can you see those stairs over there? No, you can't, because I haven't put them in there yet. So that's something I'll have to do at some stage. I won't do that now, but off camera, I'll definitely do it. However, between episodes, I want to show you what I've done. I've gone ahead, put in this path here, which I thought actually came out really, really well. I've put some logs like this, and I actually got a suggestion to start putting in a few flowers. And that's a bit of what we did in the beginning of this episode, which I added a bunch of flowers. I went around with a bit of bone meal, and I bone mealed a bit of grass around the place. We can, in fact, actually add a little bit of it over here. Just like bits and pieces of bone meal to, well, bits and pieces of grass, just to make this place look a little bit more natural, I think. I like it. And not too much, of course. We want to get rid of a bit of it. Good. So there we go. Nice. Perfect. Alright, so that's what's happened there. The other stuff that has happened is I've gone ahead and put in a few more of these trees, which I thought work pretty damn well. And I want to add in a lot more custom trees to everything. Really, like everything I want to add custom trees into. So let's have a look here. Look at that. This one over here, of course, it needs a bit of work. Look at it. It's got like, it's like a love heart. Look at that. A love heart tree. But yeah, this one over here I added in since last episode. I put in a few more of these spruce trees, which I think will look really great once we've got a few of them around each other. So we want to put in a few more back here, and I want to get rid of that thing. In fact, let's go do that right now before I forget. But yeah, my thought is, with this area that we're standing in right now, that I want to make this into a forest. I think it would be really cool to just be like a custom spruce forest, despite the fact that it doesn't have the spruce color grass or anything like that. But I think it'll be pretty cool to just have a custom-made spruce forest, you know what I mean? Like a tiger biome. We've got pods, or we could probably do something somewhat like that. How? Oh. Oh, okay, I know why I've got all that bone meal. I thought I got rid of it from there. No, that makes sense. But yeah, what I was saying is, I think it would be really great to have our own custom biome right here, just filling up this gap. But that'll be in the future, for sure. Not today. That's for certain. So, between the beginning of the episode and when I realized, it was only about 5 minutes. So, we didn't really lose too much, but luckily, we didn't lose too much. And hopefully, immediately after I'm finished with this, I'm gonna go and double check that everything's working. Because I don't want to have it again. You know, I've been doing so much recording that is just going to waste. And like, I enjoy playing Minecraft, so it's really just kind of like the way I'm playing, and you guys are tagging along with me type thing. You know what I mean? So it's not a big deal, but it just gets really annoying when you have the stuff that doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like, you did everything, but you can't have it. Like, it's just really annoying. So what I've done in between like last episode and this episode, frames dropped 53. Oh, you know what? Actually, I worked out why my frames are dropping. Put this down there. I think this will work. Yeah, because we were rendering in like freaking 23 blocks. 23 chunks around us. Okay, there we go. That might be a little bit better. Hopefully that gets a bit better. So why I've got the beacon here is I was clearing out a bit of this land underneath here just so that this looks a little bit different. And I don't know if I actually explained to you guys what I was trying to achieve here, but I was trying to make the banks, like the the river around here, a little bit wider than what it is, because I feel like, well, actually I saw on Reddit a few weeks ago someone who did that, and I thought it looked really, really great just seeing their rivers looking a bit bigger. So I thought it would be better to widen the rivers, and I think that has worked quite well. But what I wanted to do was make them a little bit deeper in here because of what we're about to do. So what we are about to do, let's just head back up here, and I'll put this stuff away. In fact, right now, I'm still very concerned with this audio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cut here, and I'll be back in like literally a minute once I'm sure that that last bit came out alright. Okay, we're back, and if you haven't worked it out, everything did sound alright for what I've listened to in the past little bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be putting in these somewhere in a spot that they won't get in our way. We'll put them there, there, and what we've got here is we've each got, like, for instance, that's our normal wood box, our cobblestone box, our stone box. We should have our log box. Where's our log box? There's our log box. I feel like my mouse, I've got a wireless mouse, and I feel like that is currently the battery needs a bit of changing, so maybe we'll have an issue at some stage, perhaps. So let's do that. We'll get out these, and why do I have so much junk in here? And also, actually, something I've noticed that I'm going to need to do. I need to get some andesite. I'm probably going to have to go down into the mines and mine just plain andesite. We're actually running really, really short on that. Now, the plan with this, what we are doing, and I don't think I've explained this to you, is, let me even explain this. This thing we built, remember when we had the issue with recording and stuff, so this was built. And I wanted to build another thing like this over here. But I also want to have one that's diagonal over there. So that area there, we can kind of just write that off and say that's an area that we're going to be using for something. Like, who knows what, but something. Alright? Now, the next thing that I wanted to do was over here, I want to make this a bit nicer, because as you can see, it just doesn't quite work. Let me step back here where you can see. It's just really weirdly shaped. In fact, the shape's not too concerning. It's just the texture and stuff. It just doesn't have too much life to it. So my plan is we're going to get over here, and we're just going to clear out a little bit of this stuff like that. And we've got haste 2 on us, so we're going to have to be very careful. And also, actually, by the way, I'm planning on hiding that beacon at some stage soon. Like, well, doing my best to hide a beacon, just so that we have a bit of, well, I want to actually get speed on that, so we can go really, really fast. I think that'll be a lot better to walk around with speed. Haste will be quite annoying to have on all the time, I think. So we'll probably have haste just when we need it, and we'll change over to speed. And also want to get a few more beacons. So let's have a look at this little area right here. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in some pillars around here where we can actually just make the wall look like it's being held back. Because this is, I like to think of this as a retaining wall. So we'll do something, we'll need this to stick out. So we'll do something along these lines here. We'll put one there, one over there, and then just like one every little bit. Probably like there. What's that? 2 blocks in between. I'm happy with that. Let's just test it out. And if you guys aren't too familiar with me, I'm not much of a planner of building, but I do enjoy when I do a bit of planning sometimes. So I wouldn't say I always plan out my builds, but overall, I think it does help sometimes. And then you kind of just let the creative flair keep going with the rest of it. So let's just check how this is coming out here, and we'll probably put one in there. That's Yeah, we'll do one in there. And then one over there. Good. So let's just take a step back and have a look at this. The spacing really is what's important. Yeah, they'll be good. So what I'm going to do, and this is pretty much something you guys would have seen me do before, is I'm going to go in here. I'm going to put in these walls going all the way up. And I'm also going to go and texture the walls with a bit of cobblestone. Or not cobblestone, with a bit of stone. Where the cobblestone, was why it was on my mind, is down at the bottom here. My plan is to have a bit of cobblestone just looking like it's mortaring the, like, I don't know if this is a word, or if it's even a verb that as the way I just used it. But basically, like, really tough cement, as far as I'm, like, I don't know if this is like a word that I just know it as, is called mortar. And I kind of think like this stuff over here, it just looks like it's really holding in the base of this. So if you have a look there, just adding a bit of that in, we'll obviously fix it up, get it a bit better textured, but I want to just add in a bit of this to the build over there. So it looks like these are being really, like, sunk into the ground. You see what I mean? Like that. Just make it look really, really, really sunk in, and obviously that'll change. So that's the plan. We probably won't go too crazy with this wall, but I think it'll make a world of a difference to this area. Okay, so I've done what I said I wanted to do. I wanted to put in the wall. We've got some crazy blocks going on. We've got everything kind of textured to an appropriate level. Nothing too crazy, nothing too little, I think. But I still want to add in something which I haven't added in just yet. And that is a bit of green and stuff with the vines. So if we can get a bit of vines and a bit of the mossy stone brick, I think that will look really, really good. And also, I just wanted to quickly show you guys over here. Yep. Nah. Come on. Okay, that's not gonna work. How about we just give up on that? What I wanted to show you guys was I've also put in a path along this way over here. So you see that? Path. Done. Nothing too crazy. And I managed to find that we've actually got an andesite stash in our storage room there. So we really don't have any trouble with andesite that I thought we had. So that's great. But I'm just amazed we're not running out of stuff. Every time I manage to find, for instance, the stone, I forgot that we had a big stone container at the bottom there, which is really great. So we can hold up for another few weeks with that. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to do a bit of mossy stuff around there. I think that'll just improve it a little bit more. And then I also want to improve it a little bit more by putting a bit of slabs and stairs with the cobblestone specifically, which we'll quickly go grab from this side here. And of course, it's always nighttime in this place. So there we go. Oh, we don't have any slabs, do we? Or stairs, for that matter. We'll just do a few slabs. We'll just go like, that should be enough. And stairs, that'll be all right. And we'll just drop that on the floor. Should be able to pick it up. There we go. Good. So what I wanted to do, as I say, is just get this looking a little bit more naturally built in here, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So, for instance, let's step back. You see how this is all very one level-y? You can see that those are all one level of block. What I want to do is I want to add in some things like that, for instance, make that not look like it's a one block high thing, you know, like all like the same level block. So we do that. We put one in over there. One around over there, and then something like that, maybe. I know I'm using slabs for things that a full block could do, but that's alright. We'll ignore it. Get in there. Okay, good. We'll just do that, just to even that water off a bit. Just a few things like this, I think, will really help it out quite a bit. And there, like that. Look at that. Already, I would imagine making quite a bit of a difference. Let's take a step back. Yeah, you see, we don't get that feeling that everything's on the same level. I think those ones sticking out do to some extent, but overall, that is working. Now I think we got to quickly go to sleep because else we're going to be fighting quite a bit of stuff. And I actually forgot, I wanted to light this area up at some stage, but we'll have to do that at a later stage. So quickly hop in bed, and then what my next plan is with this thing. So I want to get a bit of a top railing going on the top there. So I'll show you what I mean. Oh. I just have my fingers resting on those keys. Okay, so around here. Now, as you can see, we've got a path going here. and it stops there. So we're probably going to pull this path up here, maybe. I don't know, something along those lines. But then I want to also get a little bit of a railing going on here. I reckon that something like this, very simple, but it will, I think, come along quite nicely, will do quite a good trick. And I'm also debating whether or not it would be a good idea to pull these few blocks out here. So we'll do, actually, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Let's do like that, because these are stairs, right? So we can get rid of, okay, we can't get rid of that one. But we can get rid of a lot of these blocks. So we do that. There. Man, I've got to be careful. Okay, that's actually got to be the other way. Destroying everything. So we do that, and then we'll put these in. That'll be good. Alright, so this is the plan. We're just going to knock out a few of these blocks. I would imagine that one there shouldn't be knocked out. Those ones there. There. In fact, actually we need stuff like that. There. Okay, maybe this won't work as well as I had planned. So, what I think we'll do is we'll probably just leave this little bit of a thing in here. We'll do that for that, whatever. So yeah, we'll leave this little bit of a thing in here. And in fact, we could actually use this as an opportunity to texture it like that, which I think will actually do a world of a difference to it. So we'll do that. Put in a bit of that to get it out of our inventory. And then I'll carry on with this. So I'm planning on just doing a fence wall. However, something which did turn out quite well for us last time we tried it was the trapdoor fence, which actually might not be a bad idea, but I feel we'll probably just use a bit of continuation on from the other side there, where we used logs. It might not even be a bad idea. Let's actually go for logs. I think that actually could be much better, for the fact that we have to get this all to fit in very, very well, and I don't think it'll fit in well if we do have that side looking different to this side. This is actually looking quite alright now. I've done a few little bits and pieces to get this wall in a little bit. There's been a few changes that have been made, but overall, I think it works quite well. Now, I saw, oh damn it, I was meaning to do that before I came back to put in the rest of this stuff here, but that's alright. We don't have to worry about that. We'll get it done. There we go, good. So what I want to do now is I want to just add in some of this mossy stone brick, and I think the reason I thought it would be quite important is to show you guys on camera is just because I used to be under the impression that, I don't know, not that, like, you needed a bit of this, but really, the best way to do this is to be very, very sparing with it and be very sort of thoughtful of where you're placing these things. For instance, like, I could place it up there, which would work, but for instance, when we're down here at the water, you would imagine that you would probably find a lot more moss growing on stuff down here, or up in corners, specifically, because that's where moss likes to grow. So, just to think about it, and add little by little, so that you get this, look at that, very subtle green effect. Now, I feel like we actually, over here, would benefit from a bit of cracked stone brick, which we don't actually have. But if we did, that would be an ideal thing to put there. Now, we'll just actually get rid of a bit of this. There. Good. Whatever, we don't need that. So yeah, this might just work for now. Yeah, because the thing with the stone brick works quite well just to kind of make a sharp line. But as soon as you get this cracked stone brick, it breaks it up quite nicely. So if you add that going into there, you can merge into cobblestone or plain stone. Look at that, how they kind of almost match. Let me get here. How they almost match up with that thing over there. You see what I mean? So they all, if you've got them all together, they almost do line up quite nicely. So we'll put in maybe a bit over here. Oh, there we go. Stone brick. And there. With the mossy, it doesn't really work that way because it kind of breaks off these pieces. So you can see there it kind of works because the cracked stone brick's got a bit of darkness on it. But when it's right next to one, it just doesn't work as well like a normal stone brick. That's what I find. This is what I've been trying to work out what makes these walls a little bit better. And that's what I found has helped me to improve. So there we go. A little bit of stuff. And you know what? This is just something that's been bugging me for a few days now. I don't know why. I've been thinking about it recently more than not. Is if you have a look at squid, right? Why was squid put into the game and nothing else? Like, how do we not have fish or something along those lines? You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like we should have something in the game right now more than a squid in the water. Like, I mean, guardians for, like, sure, they're cool, but they're not passive mobs in the water. I think it would be really cool if we just had stuff in the water. More marine life in the water. That's just my personal opinion. I'm sure it's shared by many people, but it's just something that I've been thinking about recently. I'm like, how has it not happened? How have Minecraft or Mojang not put them in yet? But yeah, that's cool. I'm actually pretty happy with the wall. Great. Alright guys, so I think for today, I'm pretty satisfied with this wall. I'm actually going to do one last thing to it, which I think will improve it just a tad. And we'll have to get rid of a bit of stuff there. We'll pop those in there. Good. And get out. We don't have many of them left. Okay, we'll have to be good with this, so we'll get rid of that. One of those. And you know what those zombies are, you know where those zombies are coming from? So that works out quite well, because we can do that, and they'll be perfect. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, the zombies are coming because there's actually a little cave under here, and I've let a bit of water into it, so it's knocked down all the torches that I put up there one day. There we go. Good. So we've put a few of these around, actually. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to do a bit of stuff like this in some corners and things like that to make it look like it's, yeah, just being held together a bit. That actually doesn't work too badly. So we can really try and make this look like it's just pasting this together a tad. Like there, not down there. That is a bad idea. And, oh, we got one. Good. Perfect. Alright, so I'm pretty much just going to keep going around doing this to this wall, guys. I know it's kind of a weird thing to have focused on, but it's something that I think was quite necessary after what we had this looking like. And I want to actually just take a step back when we finish off this little bit. And one in there. Don't tell me the sun's going down. It's close. Good, we'll be able to see this. So, there we go. Just to think about what this was before. You know, that plain wall. That has actually made a massive difference to this. And I'm actually happy to look at this side of my village. That's awesome. Alrighty, so I'm pretty much going to be finished now, guys. I think that I'm happy with this. So we can leave this for a few episodes. And it won't be bugging me for much longer. So, for the next episode, I'm not too sure what I'm going to be doing. So if you guys have got some clues to what you want around this area, let me know before we head on to the next area, which I'm guessing is probably going to be this area here. So, thank you very much for watching, guys. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.